$9,200 a month in revenue, at about $80,000 in revenue for the year. If school's 9 months out of the year, $45,000 in income, part-time job. That's a great retirement gig, like you said. Really great first 2 days.
We're busy.
We're busy. We're making a lot of money. That is awesome. Congratulations. $441 on day one, 222 sales out of 2 vending machines, one that didn't get live until 9 a.m. And then day two was $467 on day two.
I'm checking the app and I'm like, we hit our goal. We hit our goal. It's only lunchtime. And then I go back and I'm like, we doubled the goal the next day. We hit our goal. We doubled our goal. Doing the math, I'm like, we can pay this thing off in 10 weeks.
We were looking at Naturals2Go.
Naturals2Go Vending.
The night before, we were going to pull the trigger on buying 4 machines, $54,000 investment. And I came across your program and I said, I really want to talk to this guy. What I liked about your program was we don't have to buy a machine until we have a contract in hand, which I think is the most smart thing you can do. I don't think that you should be buying a machine and then trying to find a location.
That's a big staple of my program here at Vending Accelerator, is that there's no reason to buy, while in Naturals2Go case, a $12,000 or $13,000 vending machine or 4 or 5 of them up front and it's a big investment. We're talking $54,000 and you literally have no home for them. And the home for them are the locations where you make your return on investment. So you're just left laying out all that capital and not knowing where your vending machines are going to be placed. That's where I feel those companies like Naturals2Go and Healthy You Vending fail, because they talk almost nothing about locations. Certainly specifics as far as how much foot traffic, how many daily consumers will be in your locations, at least on the low end or the average, right? And they don't talk about that at all. They have no standards. There's no blueprint. We probably talked about 90% locations and what our blueprint is, right? And that's the other thing people don't think about, whether you knew this or not. But a $12,000 vending machine from Naturals2Go really only cost them $7,000 or $8,000. The moment you buy that vending machine from Naturals2Go, and it's not that it goes down from 12 to 10, it goes down to 12 to below the retail price, which is probably $6,000, which you have to make up for in that difference. I see it all the time on my content comments, is that you can't get into the big locations. You can't get into the schools. You can't get into the big corporations. You can't get into the locations with 500 daily consumers, because Coke already has those vending locations. Pepsi already has those locations. The big vending company has those locations. Canteen has those locations. And it's just not true. And even if they do, there's ways to overcome that and actually remove those existing vending machines. One word you should not say, which is vending. And we teach you guys our phrase up front so you can actually get to the decision maker and then be able to present the location brochure for specifically public schools. Talk to me about that process.
It's interesting because we looked at the brochures when they came in, and Jen was like, oh, these things are going to sell themselves. Yeah, it was pretty fantastic. I watched your videos in regards to, okay, this is how you present the brochures. I walked in and I said, I'm here to see the principal, and school. People at the front jump right up and they take my name and they run back and, talk to the principal.
And then you just brought in the brochure?
You put it in the brochure and brought them snacks.
The brochure, like Jennifer said, it sells for you. It truly does. Fortunately, being in this industry for well over a decade now, I have put in there, the sweet sauce that gets schools motivated. And it's a needle mover for schools. You have been in operation for a couple of days at a local high school with 1,200 students.
That's correct.
2 healthy vending machines down and installed at those schools. Have you made any money?
Over $400 on the first day and over $400 on the second day as well. And that was 222 vends on the first day and 239 vends on the second day.
Unbelievable. $454 on average between the 2 days times 22 days. It's $9,988 in revenue for one school vending machine location with 2 healthy vending machines installed. Well on pace to have a 6-figure vending machine business with just 1 vending machine location. However, you have another school where a machine is going to get installed, correct?
Right. We have a middle school.
And how many students are at that middle school?
665.
This is why folks come to Vending Accelerators, to get into schools, and they're absolute cash cows, and you're seeing it. Talk to me how valuable the location clinics were for you.
Well, what I like about the location clinic, not only are we listening to you, but we get feedback from other people that are in the program. That's golden because it's boots on the ground. So I'm getting information from people who are doing the exact same thing that I am doing. If I happen to miss it that day, I could sit down at my computer that night and listen to the recording. The location clinics have been golden for me. Within 2 months, we had 2 locations, and then 2 months later, we get our machines up and operational.
So yeah, it's about a 30-day process once you were ready to go and you're all set up. When you went through the location launch call and seeing that the work that our team did, how valuable was that for you?
I was kind of blown away with all the schools and all the work. That was great. Excel spreadsheet and some of the things I was looking at. Going over it with you as far as which ones you thought were the best ones to go after and why was invaluable because you were like, oh, these ones right here is the ones that you really want to concentrate on.
You can cast a wide net, which is the old spray and pray method that we talked about from day one, which is what the rest of the vending industry does. Or you can just vet the marketplace when you know what to look for and what questions to ask. So then we can do what we always wanted to do, which is hunt with a high-powered sniper rifle. Did we give you that opportunity?
Yeah, that's exactly what that spreadsheet does. I was able to walk in and know who I needed to talk to, use their name. Great tool, invaluable.
And that's the thing about this is, Chris, is that this doesn't work if you don't work. And I say that a lot. And our clients who follow the process, right, to a T, which you have truly down to what you say when you walk in, even how you respond to that when they ask you who you are, which you don't say that you're a vending company, right? There's a response to that, like you mentioned. And then, right, being able to go through the brochure with the principal and then getting inside the location clinic so we can help you get to the finish line. And that's the process. And now you guys have had immense amount of success. And your biggest problem right now is you're working too much and you're retired. Happy retirement.
Thank you.